All right, man. Welcome back to Agree to Disagree. And if you're new, welcome to Agree to Disagree. Got my boy Jay Lloyd, Pops, Craig, and we got B in the cut on this one. All right. Before we get into it, man, I want to let Jay say a few words before we get into the topic.
Yeah, man, it's been a tough 2020 for all of us, as we know, man. And we lost another one of our soldiers last week, Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther. He's done so much for the community, man, and we obviously our condolences to his family. You just never know what someone's going through. And I think that's the biggest thing that we all need to focus on as people, man. He kind of, fought his illness privately.
Mm-hmm.
But he fought it with class, and again, it just gives you a different sense of awareness and humility for the next man. So, like I said, man, our condolences to him and his family.
Yes, sir. Well said, Jay. All right, man. Let's get into it. All right. So this topic, obviously, we still have the Denver and Utah series going on, and the Houston and OKC game is going on right now as we speak. So we don't want to do predictions yet. We want to talk about. We'll start with the Lakers. We want to talk about which team would give the Lakers the more trouble, right? Based on matchup or just what type of players they got. So basically, based on their personnel, which team would give the Lakers more trouble out of OKC and the Houston Rockets? So I'm gonna start with let's go BG. I'm gonna start with you on this one.
Yeah, I think the Rockets would give the Lakers the most problem. Obviously, we all know the way the Rockets play. Jared always talks about matchups, and I've been looking at it. It's not necessarily they match up well, like pound for pound, but I think they get you playing a certain way that you don't want to play half the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't care how good you are, I don't care how smart you are, your basketball IQ. When the game's going like this, you get stuck in it. They want you to play like that, and then 9 times out of 10, they're going to hit more threes. Obviously, too, I think on the perimeter, with Westbrook and Harden, who's going to guard them? I think they're going to, give some matchup problems in that end. But OKC, I'm not saying they're bad. Obviously, they're giving the Rockets a tough matchup. But I think as a matchup for the Lakers, I think anybody that plays the Rockets is going to be tough because they're going to get you playing a certain way that your coach is going to be telling you not to fall into it, and not you're going to fall into it regardless because that's a fun way to play, I guess. You get up and down, you shoot the ball. You don't really have to defend, to be honest, if we're being real. And then you get the rebound, you take it out, and you push it. So I still think Lakers are going to win, but I think the Rockets are going to give them a problem for sure. Kind of how the Blazers were that first game, even a little bit of that fifth game too. So I think the Rockets give them the worst problem.
Fair points. Fair point. Go ahead, Craig.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's just the Lakers, they're a good defensive team, but they can't, again, if they get down, they can't afford to trade baskets with the Rockets. The Rockets get up, they live and die by the three. There's no way the Lakers are catching them. But on the flip side, the Lakers, they could use their size advantage against the Rockets. The Rockets went all in on the small ball. But at the same time, they're a dangerous team. And the Lakers, even though they're a good defensive team, they get lazy on the perimeter. We even saw it in the series with Portland. They can't afford. They need to play good D on the wing. Hopefully, they got another guard out there that can help also defend. Westbrook and Harden. That's a tough load. But I think that's why they'll be the toughest opponent the Lakers have to face in the playoffs. And also, too, like I said, I'm always big on getting worn out in the playoffs. Man, Houston will wear you out. So that even if the Lakers did advance, when they go 5, 6, 7 games, they're going to feel that fatigue going into the next series. So that's another reason why they're just a handful for the Lakers to face.
Real quick, John. To his point, do you think fatigue kicks in too, even though they don't have to travel? I feel like that was part of a big problem too, having to travel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they for sure play every other day in this, right?
Every other day for sure.
Every other day they for sure play. I think it
But think about
sometimes they had like a 2-day break sometimes, right, when it was on TV
Sure.
because of traveling. But they for sure play every other day on this
one. Yeah.
But in the real quick, like these running gun teams, man, you want to get 4 games, 5 tops. Get as much rest as you can between that series and the next.
Go ahead, Pops.
Neither one of them. Don't give him a tough time. Neither one. Because here again, we're talking playoffs. And when you talk about playing against somebody like, everybody knows how Houston play. Yeah, that's fine in the regular season. But then when you come playoff time, I'm not running with you. I'm going to slow the game down. Now, even when the Lakers go big, that's still a problem. Houston will have a problem trying to figure out what to do with Anthony Davis. They will have that problem. They will have a problem trying to figure out what do we do about LeBron. That will be a problem. Anthony Davis is, you know, we go like, well, who will be a problem for the Lakers? Who will the Lakers be a problem for? I mean, yeah, Houston, they got to hit the threes. They're going to shoot the three. Russell going to come down 100 miles an hour when he get it. But we all know in the playoffs, it slows down. And if you turn that thing into just a half-court game and possession by possession, I'm going with the Lakers because the Lakers, they have some athletes. Their bigs are athletic, and their bigs can pound you. PJ taking a pounding, man. He's taking a beating. Now you go right out to that series, and then all of a sudden now you got to take another beating. That's what's going to wear you down. So no, I don't think really neither one of them. OKC will be too young, and Houston's going to be Houston, and AD and LeBron going to send D'Antoni to the unemployment line when the series is over. No, nobody. No problem.
Go ahead, Jay.
You guys both made good points. I want to go at it a different way. I just feel like we forget that the teams that have beaten LeBron are the teams that aren't scared of LeBron. And Houston's not scared of LeBron. So I think that's a huge thing going forward in this series. Even when you look past playing style, like I think they really believe that they can beat LeBron. Like I really believe they think that. Portland, I think Dame Lillard believed he could beat LeBron. I don't think the team felt they could beat LeBron and the Lakers. I really believe Houston believes they could beat LeBron. Now, if they play OKC, Chris Paul believes it, but OKC is not going to believe it. But Houston really believes it. And again, if the game is close, I got to be consistent with what I say. I'm concerned because now you're going to force LeBron to have to make plays. He's going to make the right play. So now it's Kyle Kuzma, it's KCP. Are these dudes going to knock down those timely shots? We joke about the Derek Fishers and the Robert Ory's all the time. There's no championship without them dudes, man, because they had to make timely, important shots over and over and over again. If they don't make those shots, Lakers don't win them series. And I don't know if they have a dude this year consistently that we trust that in a close game can make those shots. So I do think Houston's going to give them some trouble. I still think the Lakers are going to win it, but I don't think it's going to be as easy as people. Yeah, it's going to be a game. Yeah, for sure.
And I feel like it's kind of a no-brainer. Obviously, Houston's going to give them more problems. They got two all-stars in the backcourt. We struggled a little bit with Dame game one. That was just game one. But James Harden is far better scorer than Damian Lillard. A lot of that has to do with his size, his craftiness. But I just think containing the ball with them two is going to be an assignment. I still got the Lakers winning, but when it comes to who will give a tougher matchup than OKC, than the Rockets, I'm obviously say the Rockets. And I want to add something about what Brian was saying. The biggest thing that the Rockets do, Jay, you can count to this, Pops, Brian, because we coach this way. When we're losing, because we have a lot of guards, what do we try to do? We try to speed that game up,
Beat 'em
right?
up.
And we can be playing against Princeton. It's just basketball. When that game's going like this, it's contagious. Now, LeBron has the IQ to slow the game down. Rondo has the IQ to slow the game down. AD, I don't know if I'm sure he knows the game probably going too fast. I don't think he can really slow the game down. But what about the Kyle Kuzmas, the KCPs, the Deion Waiters, the J.R. Smiths, when they get the ball, like, are they going, hey, hold on, we got to slow down and run offense? When the other team is running and gunning, it's contagious. So I worry about that matchup when LeBron James isn't in the game. I really, really worry about that team when against the Rockets when LeBron's not in the game. Go ahead, B.
Yeah, I think that I was about to say that too. I think Kuzma is one we got to watch because I feel like as ego, as a basketball player, you're getting scored on. You're going to want to come down right back up and jack up a shot. We know he does that in general. You know what I mean? So I know what Pops is saying. Like I said, I know the Lakers are going to win, but it's just if you get stuck in that. And us as coaches, we've been there. I've seen Jared call timeouts like stop playing their way. Like we're playing too slow. We got to play faster. You know what I mean? So it's like ultimately you're going to get stuck. It's how many times you could get out of that and figure out how to, still get successful shots. So I agree with Pops. I don't think it's going to be close, not close necessarily, but I think they do give them a problem now.
They give them more of a problem than OKC just based on matchup. And also just for an update, because we're obviously filming and the game's going on. OKC is up 4 with 3.4 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Yes.
Houston turned it over.
Houston
came down and turned that thing over.
Yes.
Good breaking news.
So it's funny. It's funny because Jay's like, yeah, man, I don't really know about the Lakers down the stretch when the game is close. I don't really know about the Rockets down the stretch when the game is close either, man. James, I'm not sold, man. I'm not sold. I'm not.
We gotta say this really quick, man. And I think we all would agree, real quick, since we go off the cuff. That's what we do. But we got to give props to Chris Paul for what that dude is doing with this team, man. Like
nobody thought he would be here.
No one expected to make the playoffs. He's taking the Houston Rockets to 7 games. And again, I'm gonna piggyback on John. I was concerned with Rockets OKC when we talked initially. If you put OKC and Houston in a close game, I think we all would agree. And Chris Paul got the ball, man. I don't know. I don't know, man.
Hey Jay, even better. OKC and the Rockets in the game 7. It's gonna happen. I don't know either.
Oh,
I don't know about that one, bro.
Wow.
I don't know.
I know.
Okay.
OKC. I wanted to happen because I picked OKC in 7.
Ooh, you did.
He did.
Come on, man. Come on, Russ.
He earning that $40 million.
You know what is good too? Did you guys see the last game when SGA was struggling and he was out there telling bro, they're going at you. You need to figure he's not babying these dudes. He's letting them know bro, I'm doing what I could do. What are you doing? You know what I mean? He was on him. He was like, bro, they're coming after you. They're tearing you up. You're not scoring. What are you doing? Why are you here?
He's a leader, man.
Yeah.
I got to go with it. I know y'all going to be mad later, but listen. Chris Paul wins this series. Westbrook loses in the first round. Can we arguably say that Chris Paul is a better Thunder player than Russell Westbrook? Russell Westbrook never got out of the first round without Kevin Durant. And now Chris Paul beats Russell Westbrook and James Harden on the same team with way less talent. Westbrook had PG. Who does PG have on that squad?
Hey, come on, Jay. Why you can't do that?
Hey, come on, Craig. Think about that. That's tough. Westbrook has never won, y'all. He's never won without KD in the first round. And now you got Chris Paul who goes back to OKC, goes to a different franchise. He goes back to OKC, and he knocks off Houston and his own team in Game 7.
Yeah. And remember, I did say that Chris Paul's going to have a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he has to. You know what I'm saying? But I'm happy to see that. And then, and they running them commercials too now. You know what I'm saying? I big up to Chris Paul, man.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying. Westbrook had a longer tenure, But I get what you're saying. Chris Paul is doing more with less.
I
You know what
told
I'm
I
saying?
think, yeah, I think Westbrook means more. Obviously, he was like Craig said, he was there longer. Like, he
Right.
means more to like the community. But basketball wise, that's tough, man. That's a good point.
I think
That's
I will say this. I will say this. If Chris Paul beats them, they breaking that team up. They breaking that Houston Rocket team up. Because everybody gonna be out the door. D'Antoni, Morey, everybody gonna be fired.
I
Tony
think
should have
coaches.
big,
I
though.
think the coach goes before.
But the general manager gonna go too, because that owner ain't playing, man. That's why he's like, okay, when they went small ball, he told them. He basically kind of said, okay, I'm gonna let y'all do this. Let it fail. I'm gonna have the last word on everybody. Let it fail. Let it all fail and watch what happens.
I think they give it another year because they got two guys. You had another superstar in the mix. I agree.
They don't.
I mean,
They don't
they
blow
said
the
they're
whole
going
thing
all
up
in with the
because
small.
D'Antoni. I don't think they blow the whole thing up because of
I think
D'Antoni.
they need right fit.
yeah, but that style of play, who else you bring in though?
No, I mean you got to get rid of
Coaching-wise?
D'Antoni.
You
got
got
to
to
get rid of
reconstruct
him.
the team. I don't think they
Yeah,
get rid of the two best players though.
yeah.
I
Because
don't
you had
think so.
another piece, they'll be all right.
They were Harden's still gonna shoot 15 threes a game.
Yeah.
Saying,
Like who the coach is.
you gotta realize, man, Harden and Russ
I don't know about that, Craig.
D'Antoni
I
and
think,
dudes, man, they doing what they want to do.
yeah. So
That's
I don't think
system, man.
I still think he gets his shots up because he's a scorer. But D'Antoni, literally, bro, I'm telling you, they probably go 5-on-0. What's that drill called? The 5-man weave, and then they just get shots up. Like there's no structure there. Of course, everybody's gonna shoot it. I don't think he gets up as many shots. I still think he gets his. But a new coach who has some type of philosophy that's not just jack up shots, I think that kind of changes.
Yeah, we'll see, man.
Possibly.
I knew the game. I knew it was gonna go 7. I knew it was gonna go 7. I just hope for their legacy wise, Westbrook and Harden. I just hope, man, they gotta pull that out, bro. They gotta pull that out. There's no excuse, man.
If James get knocked out, man, do y'all realize what a hit he gonna take? If he get knocked out, especially if it's by Chris Paul,
He got the most pressure.
you were just 5 seconds away from being there, and now so y'all get rid of me. That's not gonna be good. I guarantee you, everybody in Houston going, we got rid of him for this.
This is Agree to Disagree. Got my boy Jay. Coach Pops. Laker Detective. We got Craig. And we got BG. And I'm John. Until next time, man. We out.